Hey everybody, and welcome to Leia's Lair. In this episode, I'll be going over the different lightsaber combat forms that are legends. If you're enjoying the videos, please give them a like and subscribe to the channel so I can continue making them for you. Before I begin, I would like to note that I'll be going over the lightsaber combat forms as they pertain to legends. If you're interested in finding out more information about the forms in canon, feel free to check out my other video. The first form of lightsaber combat is Form 1 or Shicho. It was also dubbed the Way of the Sarlacc or the Determination form. This form was developed during the transitional period in the Jedi Order when using ancient metal swords changed to the more contemporary lightsabers. This was before the emergence of Dark Jedi and Sith Lords. The simplicity of this form was developed with the intent to disarm foes rather than injure them. However, a true master of the form would be able to find a way to utilize the form in most lightsaber combat and battlefield situations. It would be specialized towards dealing with multiple opponents as it consisted of wide, sweeping motions. Every Jedi should know this form as they are required to learn it as a youngling. The second form of lightsaber combat is Form 2 or Makashi. It was also dubbed the Way of the Salamiri or the Contention form. This form was developed specifically for lightsaber-to-lightsaber combat as the need arose with the rise of a new threat, Dark Jedi and Sith Lords. This form would rely on precision and efficiency to defend against opponents, and it focused on avoiding disarmament, using jabs, light cuts, and parries as blade work rather than slashing, blocks, and chops. This form also greatly emphasized footwork in both attack and defense. The third form of lightsaber combat is Form 3 or Suresu. It was also dubbed the Way of the Monarch or the Resilience form. This form was developed due to the widespread emergence of blasters. It focused on tight blade work mixed with subtle dodges to help provide maximum defensive capabilities against not only ranged weapons but lightsabers as well. It would prove to be effective against both single and multiple opponents. By focusing on strong defensive techniques, it could be used to outlast the opponent, waiting for them to make mistakes due to fatigue or frustration. They could then take advantage and control the combat situation, choosing to either kill, disarm, or try to reason. The fourth form of lightsaber combat is Form 4 or Otaru. It was also dubbed the Way of the Hawkbat or the Aggression form. This form was developed to be an aggressive style of combat that focused on a combination of strength, speed, and agility. Using wide, fast, and powerful swings, this form was fast-paced and especially effective against single opponents. It would incorporate many force-assisted acrobatics, such as somersaults and leaping strikes, in both offensive and defensive maneuvers. By allowing the force to aid in their movements, the user was able to overcome their own physical limitations. The fifth form of lightsaber combat is Form 5 with discipline Xian or Gem So. This form was also dubbed the Way of the Krayt Dragon or the Perseverance form. It was developed by Form 3 practitioners who wanted a more offensive style where they could create their own openings rather than waiting for an opponent to strike. The classical variant Xian was adapted to guard against blaster fire and enemy strikes without compromising the ability to launch a powerful counterattack. Xian was most effective against multiple opponents versus single opponents. There was also a variation of Xian that existed where the user would use a reverse grip. Gem So, on the other hand, was developed more specifically for lightsaber dueling. Practitioners of Gem So would use force-enhanced strength and powerful blade combinations to try and overpower and overwhelm an opponent. The Gem So attack stance consisted of holding the lightsaber above the head. The sixth form of lightsaber combat is Form 6 or Neiman. It was also dubbed the Way of the Rancor, the Moderation form, and the Diplomat's form. It was developed as a hybrid by effectively combining elements of preceding forms into a single generalized form. It covered many of the various lightsaber moves, but because of its overall moderation, focus on blade work was more relaxed. Because of this, Form 6 users were encouraged to incorporate the use of force powers into their combat. Success of this form was largely dependent on the practitioner's intuition, improvisation, and creativity in combat. The seventh form of lightsaber combat is Form 7 with disciplines Juyo or Vapad. This form was also dubbed the Way of the Vornsker or the Ferocity form. Juyo is often described as the most vicious form, filled with both fury and malignant grace. It was heavily focused on offense with bold and direct motions. The Vapad variation was described as more than just a fighting style, it was a state of mind. It would lead the user through the penumbra of the dark side, where they would enjoy the fight as well as relish in winning. The movements of this form would be fast, causing them to appear as if they were wielding many lightsabers at once. Jedi Masters Mace Windu and Sora Bulk were credited with developing this variation. And there you have it, all of the lightsaber combat forms that are legends. Thanks for watching, everyone. Which lightsaber combat form is your favorite? Let me know down below in the comment section. And remember to like and subscribe to the channel for more great videos to come. I hope to see you all again in Leia's Lair.